What's going on YouTube? It's your girl Shelly back with another video, you guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support that I got from my first video, and I'm here to give you guys some tips on how to improve your credit. So you guys, on my YouTube channel I will be discussing a lot of business topics, money management topics, and also giving you guys a first-hand insight on what it takes to be a millionaire. So with these videos, this is basically helping you guys get prepared for that status. So if you're interested in those type of topics, definitely make sure you subscribe to your girl's channel. Also follow me on all of my social media platforms at ShellyBarber77. So let's go ahead and get into the video for today. So I will be reading off my phone, you guys, because this is where I got all these tips. So the first thing that I'm gonna actually be doing is giving you guys a story time, okay? Because your girl hasn't always been financially literate, you know, but now I'm getting better. So when I was about 20 years old, I had maxed out 25 credit cards, and I mean 25. Honey had a lot of credit card debt, you guys. So it was super crazy for me, and I was super scared because I wasn't sure how I was gonna be able to pay those things back. But then I end up, you know, slowly just paying off all of those credit cards within like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And since that point on, I do not hold any balances on my credit cards. I'm like traumatized from that point. So now, you guys, anytime I do use my credit cards, I make sure I pay them back as soon as possible, and to help me with reducing my liability as well. But we can talk about that in another video. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into these tips that I'm gonna be giving you guys to help improve your credit. So tip number one, you want to make sure if you are using your credit cards that it's things that you can actually afford. Do not, and I mean do not, use your credit card if you cannot afford to pay off those items within 1 to 2 months. That's super important because you don't want to keep a balance on your credit report. Another thing to note as well, you guys, when it comes to paying your credit cards on time, that also impacts your credit score. So make sure that you're paying on time, and if you're not able to pay on time, definitely reach out to your creditors. They are really good about, you know, just helping you with getting to a financial point where you're able to pay off that balance. So definitely reach out to them. And you also have 15 days after your credit card statement to be able to have enough time to also pay it back then as well. So definitely utilize those strategies when it comes to making sure you pay your credit cards on time. Tip number two, so you want to make sure you reduce your balance on your credit cards. This is super important as well, you guys, because when you reduce your balance on your credit cards, that actually helps increase your score. They want to see that you're not using your credit cards completely. And if you are, make sure you pay them off within, like I said, a certain amount of time. But for me personally, I do not like to have revolving debt on my credit cards, because like I said, it shows creditors that you're not financially responsible, and you should not be using more than 50% of your credit card. For me personally, you guys, I pay everything with my credit card because I get so many points and cashback offers. But like I said, I also make sure I pay it within the 30 days. So tip number three, so you also want to make sure you do not rack up a bunch of inquiries, you guys. Inquiries does affect your credit for 1 year dramatically, but after that year it will affect it a little bit, but not as much. But I was also doing a lot of research. Technically, we're not supposed to be doing more than 3 inquiries per year, which I did not know until I was actually doing some research on that. So for me, you guys, personally, before I was like applying for credit cards, maybe like five credit cards per year. Now I'm to the point where I might apply for a credit card once or twice, but very minimum. But because I'm starting new businesses, I have to apply for credit cards, and it does affect my personal credit at first. But with me having really good credit, it's not going to affect it that much. So that was tip number three. So tip number four, when it comes to your credit, you also want to make sure that you're monitoring your credit report. So you can go on freecreditreport.com, or you can use like other credit services such as like Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, and also some of your existing credit cards do offer free monitoring as well. So you can look on there just to make sure that the accounts are accurate, and if they're not, definitely make sure you reach out to the credit bureaus, and also make sure that you may want to reach out to credit services as well that offer, you know, helping you with getting those things removed off your credit. So that was tip number four. So tip number five is actually holding your credit cards. Like, this is super important, you guys, because the longer you have an account open, the better it is for your credit report. So for me, you guys, the one thing that I kind of made a mistake on was actually closing some of those accounts when I was 20. Because if I would have just kept those accounts, that would have been really good, because then, like I said, it shows creditors that I have a long history of credit. But for me, you guys, I decided to close most of those cards because, like I said, I was traumatized. But I would never do that again. So even if I'm not using a card, I still like to keep it open, because like I said, it goes towards your credit history, and your credit history also impacts your credit score. The next tip is also asking someone who does have good credit if you can be an authorized user. So a lot of Caucasian families are actually utilizing this. And I remember my friend back in college was telling me that, you know, she's an authorized user. But at that time, it didn't click with me because I didn't know what the heck that was. But now I do. So even like right now, I have my brother and my mom added on as an authorized user. So basically, with my credit report being so good, I'm paying things on time, I'm using credit appropriately, that's keeping my score high. But when you add an authorized user onto your account, it actually gives them good reporting as well based on your credit. So you guys, if you have any kids, or if, like I said, if you don't have the best credit, definitely ask someone to be added on as an authorized user, because like I said, that will help you with improving your credit reporting as well. We have tip number 7. So tip number 7 basically is, like I said, if you're monitoring your credit report, try to get some of those things removed. So say if you have any collections, late payments, definitely reach out to the credit bureaus to let them know, like, you know, the information is not accurate, or go through a credit service. So the credit service that I went through was Lexington Law, and they were able to help me so much with getting a lot of different accounts removed, such as like I had a Sprint account because, you know, I had an issue with them, and they basically wanted to put my account into collections. So I ended up having Lexington Law be able to get that removed off my credit because I already paid the account, which was really nice. So I definitely feel like you guys should definitely utilize any credit services available. And like I said, I will be linking Lexington Law's website down below. I'm not sponsored by them, but like I said, I definitely used them in the past, and I feel like they're a very helpful service to be able to utilize. So those were my 7 tips when it comes to improving your credit, you guys. I hope that those tips will help you guys to be able to improve your credit. If you have other tips, definitely comment down below. But like I said, those are the current ones that I currently use to help me be able to get to that 800 credit score. Right now I'm at 700, but 800 is my goal. You know, I was already there for like a tiny bit until I had to get another business, but you know, I'm definitely getting back up to that 800 credit score. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or concerns, or you want some personal advice on credit, definitely reach out to me at ShellyBarber77. And like I said, continue to be subscribed to the channel, and I'll give you more tips and tricks that you can use to improve your credit. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.